we take this to trial, in your estimation, because I know nobody knows, but what do you think the ultimate result of what's going to happen is? We've seen this happen to a number of celebrities now. So the realm of it will happen. It could happen. It could happen. It has happened. I don't want to say it will happen, but it might happen.
Yeah.
So
This is R. Kelly all over again.
Ooh.
Yep. This is R. Kelly all over again, and I presume that the trial will go pretty much just the same way, and he will be found guilty, and he will be sentenced to somewhere around 30 years in prison.
We're gonna timestamp it, and if it happens, we'll definitely
You know, the chilling part about that is when we talked, Olga and I spoke before we came on, and a lot of people criticized you when we dropped the R. Kelly conversation we had, and you were dead on.
Yeah, because I don't say what people want me to say, and I get, I'm not here for your feelings. I don't give a fuck about your feelings, not you per se. I'm talking about people, the followers, and I love my people, but I know that we are traumatized people, and we get emotional when we don't like what we hear, right? And that's when our cognitive dissonance sets in, and we don't listen to the information that's being provided because we want to disagree with the person. And that's cool. You can do all of that. But at the end of the day, when this shit plays out, you're going to be like, damn, that bitch was
right. Man. Now, I know it's kind of hard without, looking through all the, discoveries and all that stuff. But just briefly, what would it be like a defense strategy that he could use to possibly win? If you can give us something just briefly.
So the defense strategy, and don't call me, Sean, because I'm not going to represent you, because you don't have that much money. Obviously, the defense strategy is it was all consensual. It was consensual. I didn't force anyone to do anything at any time. Nobody was holding you down. You could have left at any time. In fact, you did leave at this time. Here's the evidence of it. And you came back on your own. I didn't force you to come back. I didn't keep you here against your will. There were many opportunities for you to leave, and you chose to be here. You chose to participate in these activities, whether you say you don't like them now, because there's a difference between rape and sexual regret. I don't want this much to be good at the defense, because if he called, I might have to take this case. And I already said I would not take the case. But yeah, obviously you have to go through the evidence. So if someone is claiming that these acts happened against their will, then you have to demonstrate how that's not true. And you can do that through video, text messages, mail, travel, conversations, any of those things to show that this person was not being held against their will, to show that this person had free will, that they weren't being kept. But that wasn't the case in R. Kelly, right? R. Kelly, they had people coming and say that you couldn't even get food, right? I mean, the way he had these women, according to the evidence that was at that trial, that they really didn't have a choice. Right? So whether to come and go, they were kept under very tight thumb, right? So I don't know that the evidence would be that, because it doesn't seem like that, according to the civil complaints, right? It didn't seem like they were restricted in that way. But sometimes pressure is in your own head.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it could be that you have a weak constitution. It could be that I'm not forcing you to do a fucking thing. You just don't know how to say no. That's different.
Right.
So, and your acquiescence led me to believe that you enjoyed it. Right? Your acquiescence led me to believe that this was okay. We wouldn't do anything wrong. And at no point did you say, I don't want to do this anymore. At no point did you say, let me stop. I want to leave. I'm going to reach out to so-and-so and see if somebody can get me a flight up out of here.
Right.
Well, when you got a flight up out of here, you flew your ass back. So I'm not saying that, that he doesn't have a defensible case, but the allegations are salacious, and Cassie makes for the type of victim that you want to feel sorry for, And so that might go a long way with the jury, even though the court is going to instruct them that they can't, convict simply because they are emotional. Again, emotions have no place in court.
Right.
You know.
Now,
So that's how I would. That's some of what I'm not gonna give everything. That's some of what. Because I know these motherfuckers be watching it.
They act like they don't,
but yeah. So that's some of how I would approach it as a defense attorney.
Now we were talking to Bill Cosby's crisis manager Andrew Wyatt, and he was talking about public opinion now, and like jurors now that are going to be in that case are seeing all this. They're watching this right now. So how's that going to play? Because for the people I hear going to the barbershops, everybody think that Diddy's a freak. He's messing with Meek Mill, all this stuff people are saying. But how's that going to play now with moving on forward to the trial? What's going on, what they're hearing in social media, what they're hearing in the media. It looks like he's cooked, in my opinion. There's no way that he can win this thing, right?
I don't think that. I'm not.
I mean, of course you ain't gonna say that, but
listen, I'm not giving him my defense. I got you.
I got it
up to him. Right. What I will say, because I know millions in my account, and so I'm not giving up the defense here. But what I will say to that, when it comes to jurors in social media, all jurors at some point have been exposed to things that they like or don't like, or things that they've seen on social media. The question for the court is not whether or not you've seen anything, but whether or not what you have seen has infected you in some way, or impacted you in such a way that you cannot be fair and impartial. Right. And so there are people who can be subjected to all manner of news and stories and interviews and still say, you know what? I am going to listen to the evidence that comes in the trial, and I'm going to base my verdict on the evidence and only the evidence that comes in that trial. And I'm not going to be affected by outside influences. Right? Yeah, there's jurors who can do that. I don't think they'll have a problem finding jurors who can be fair, because that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for jurors who have never heard of Puff Diddy. You're not looking for jurors who've never heard of Cassie or R. Kelly, or you're not looking for that. You're looking for jurors who, despite the fact that they've heard these things, can still be fair and impartial. And that's what now, there have been rumors and innuendo that there had been some jury tampering back in the day, at the last trial. And maybe a couple jurors got paid off, or so there's always the danger of that, right? And I think that that's less inclined to happen in a federal trial, because those marshals don't be playing.
Now he can't. Now right now he's pretty much under a watchful eye, because when he got, his house got raided the next day, they said they were tracking his jet.
Right.
So now he's ready to book it. He ain't going nowhere because they watch him, right?
Yeah, well, they want to make sure that he's, not a flight
risk.
I'm sorry, I'm thirsty.
No,
that he's not a risk of flight. That's going to be a factor when when they have to decide whether or not he's going to get a bail, or when they have a bail hearing after his arrest, he's going to be released pending his case. I got to open the window.
Oh yeah. We ain't got too much longer with you.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Definitely appreciate you. All right.
So flashes.
It's shining. All right. His son was recently allegations were brought up against his son. We've seen them be arrested, so public perception really look bad on them.
Which son?
The youngest one, Christian.
Oh, wow. The one look like Kim Porter's son.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's the one that looks like Albie Shore.
No, not Quincy.
Oh, no. This looks like Diddy.
This one look just like Diddy.
Yeah. This is the one that looks like Diddy. Okay, so there was an allegation that he was what?
Pretty much the same as his dad.
Yeah, it was
underage.
Rape, forcible rape on a woman. Yeah. And it's like, wow.
So here's what I think that this will be a RICO case, right? Or like not, because the way that the I want to say indictment reads, the way that complaint read, basically laid out that there were a number of people in positions that helped further this enterprise, right? Whether it was staff that were getting drugs, or staff members that were getting guns, or staff members that were getting people to come and have sex, or staff members that were cleaning up crime scenes, cleaning up bathrooms where people have been shot, or shit like that.
Right.
That's a production. That is not just you. That is not one person. That is an enterprise. And all of those things that people have engaged in are acts in furtherance of that enterprise. So his son, is it Carisha's cousin who will forcibly perform the sex act on Rod? All of those people that have been named are potentially co-defendants, right? Potentially.
How about bodyguards? Like bodyguards, people like that. Bodyguards.
Anyone who participated or facilitated, right? These incidences, these acts, they're on the hook, and they don't need to know each other. I need people to understand that. One of the things that people say in conspiracy cases or RICO cases is that guy don't even know that guy. They don't even know each other. You don't need to know each other. If I'm running an enterprise, I might hire you over there to do A, B, and C, and I might hire you over there to do D, E, and F. Gotcha. You don't need to know each other.
Right.
But y'all both working in furtherance of the enterprise. You feel me?
Yeah.
So the son could be on the hook. The managers could be on the hook. Bodyguards on the hook. Could be a whole lot of people. And the beauty of that from a prosecution perspective is that it becomes about self-preservation, because I'm not going to jail for you. Right.